Good evening and welcome to Monday Night on Bad Dog Comedy TV, live on YouTube and Ayaka's Kitchen. Now, please give it up for your warm-up act, a toast.
Hello! Hello, everybody! How are you doing? Okay. Okay, another day, another knock show. Are you ready? Okay. I'm a toast. Okay, ready? Knock. Who's there? I'm a Middle Eastern salesperson who's very pushy. Middle Eastern salesperson who's really pushy. Who? Dubai! Yay! Dubai in Dubai! I'm a toast and I'm shopping a lot of things. In Dubai. I'm toast, Dubai in Dubai. Okay, bye. Hi, everybody. How was that? It should be like a catchphrase or something. It should be like a catchphrase for like shopping in Dubai. I think it's that good. Dubai in Dubai. I did not come up with this joke. Never mind. Hi, I'm Ayaka. Dubai in Dubai. Yeah, great. Consumerism. Catchphrase. Great. Another day, another episode of Ayaka's Kitchen on Bad Dog Comedy TV. Bad Dog is a great place to be. So here's the donation link. Here's the donation link. And let's support Bad Dog. Bad Dog is a great place to be. Yeah. Okay, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Leave me know. Message. Great. Thank you, Seann. Great. So yes, another day, another episode, another knock Dubai joke of Ayaka's Kitchen, and I'm super hyper duper excited because I'll have a guest, and this person is a recurring guest. The first time in Ayaka's Kitchen history, I have a guest who came back. It means a lot to me. And guess what? This person's gonna talk about the completely different life that this person experienced. Instead of talking about the same culture and cuisine, this is going to be a very, very different episode than when this person appeared for the first time. So I'm super excited to hear all the stories. My great, awesome, fantastic, wonderful friend is here. So let's have her over. Alia!
Hi, Ayaka. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you for coming over to my kitchen again on the other side of the screen again. Thank you. I'm so excited because last episode you were the very first person to be on Ayaka's Kitchen, and it was amazing. I had spam for the first time in my life, and it was so good. Spam silog, so good. It was such a delicious and interesting educational experience for me. But today you are going to talk about something completely different, but that's a big part of your life. So I'm super excited to hear all the stories. So tell us, what is your background?
So, I'm Filipino, and that's why we talked about spam that first episode, because there's a lot of spam. I'm a Tita Power. I'm part of an all Filipina sketch troupe. So I'm Filipino, but I actually am a member of the Philippine diaspora. So meaning I'm a Filipino who grew up outside of the Philippines. And I spent most of my life in the Middle East. Actually, now that I'm I spent most of my life growing up there, and then I moved to Toronto because I was like, oh, I'm old now, so I've been in Canada a while. But when I was one, we left the Philippines when I was one, and up to high school, I was in the Middle East. So first I was in Saudi, and then I moved and basically spent most of my childhood in Dubai, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
Dubai in Dubai.
Dubai in Dubai, which is a tagline for the Dubai Shopping Festival, which is a very big, this is not an ad for that, but it is a very big thing that happens in Dubai every single year. Dubai in Dubai.
Yeah. So today's toast knock knock joke was it's not it's usually like B minus. Toast his jokes are B minus, but today is like A plus. It's like a successful catchphrase.
Yeah, I mean, someone paid millions of dollars on marketing to put that together. So,
and I'm just using it right here on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's gonna be online. Someone's gonna sue me. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, bad dog. No.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about Dubai. And there are a few episodes that I have had in the past that I felt so uneducated. I don't know anything about it. So you really have to teach me, and hopefully like some people watching it feels the same page on the same page as me. You need to tell us a little more about Dubai. So yeah, Dubai, I thought it was a city or capital of a Middle Eastern country, but it's not, right? Like, can you teach us?
Yeah, so Dubai is part of the United Arab Emirates. So it's basically 7 different emirates, meaning it's like it's a section of the land of that country that's governed by an emir. We actually refer to them as sheikhs, and honestly, I'm kind of fuzzy as to the relation, but so it's the same as like saying, a kingdom is governed by a king, an emirate is governed by an emir. So Dubai is actually, there is a capital of the United Arab Emirates, and it's Abu Dhabi. Dubai is just like the fun aunt. It's the fun sister. Just kidding. They're all fun. But Dubai, there you go.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. So Dubai is so it's about like, the population is about like 3 million people. So that's kind of the same amount of people as Toronto, a little bit less. Like Toronto's, I think, 3.3 million, and Dubai's like 2.9. So it's roughly the same. And the cool thing about Dubai is like it has a long history of being a trading hub, a port. And that's why Dubai Shopping Festival is kind of like, it makes sense because there's a lot of like trading, and like the ports are there, and so you see things come from all over the world there. That was one of the coolest things about growing up in Dubai is you see everyone from all walks of life there, from different parts of the world. Like 87% of the population of Dubai is like foreign born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, foreign born, and it was really cool because it's you see everyone's cultures, and you get to celebrate everyone's culture. The main culture in Dubai is like, the main thing in Dubai, obviously, it's like Arabian culture. There's a lot of that makes a lot of sense in the Middle East. It's in the Persian Gulf. It's mostly an Islamic area, which was really interesting for me as a Filipino Muslim. And then what else? What else was I gonna say about Dubai? Yeah, and it's funny because like it started off, I think, a long time ago as a fishing village. So there's there's this great tradition of shipping there, fishing, pearling, and then it eventually evolved to become this like opulent like tourist spot that just gathers like people and cultures and food, and like it's just like I don't know, it's like kind of like a mishmash. Like people talk about Toronto being a salad bowl or whatever, like a melting pot. You say like Dubai is kind of the same, but in a very different way. So it was interesting for me to move from Dubai to Toronto. Yeah.
I cannot imagine. I've never been there, but I have seen many photos of it, and I cannot imagine Dubai being a fishing village. You said the village. It started from the bottom of the pond, fish pond, to now. Like
that's where the pearls are.
That's where the Pearls,
Right?
beautiful. Yeah, wow. Like right now, like all I know is like everyone spends so much money. Everyone's just like wearing all the high brand thing. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
buy expensive purse, next year you buy another one because this is from last year. You don't keep the same purse for
Mm-hmm.
years. That's what I hear about Dubai. Is that
Yeah.
how people live there?
I mean, okay, so it's really funny because I think that's like the sexy thing to talk about in Dubai. When I was growing up there, the reason why it's like it was like a fishing village, it's because it's by the sea, which is amazing, which is so cool. Like to live in sort of like this desert like area, but it's also by the ocean. It's like by the beach. It was like such a cool place to grow up in. And when I was growing up there, like I actually, it was kind of similar to growing up in more of a suburban place where you need a car to go everywhere. So I moved there in 1997, and I think the first step towards Dubai becoming this big like cultural like luxury Dubai is everything gold toilet seats whatever, you know what I mean, underwater like hotel kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the first thing that really put Dubai in the map was the 7-star hotel, which was the Burj
7 star.
7-star hotel. I mean, obviously there's only five, but that was the big marketing thing.
Mm.
It was the Burj Al Arab, which is like it's shaped like a sailboat. I don't know if you
Oh yes, 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 yes.
yeah.
Famous.
So the
Mm.
funny thing is like I hated that building when it was being built because they had to tear down the Chicago Beach Hotel um, to there it is.
Oh,
It's
thank you,
beautiful.
Sean.
It's a beautiful building, but they had to tear down the Chicago Beach Hotel to make it. And the Chicago Beach Hotel was where I learned how to swim. So I had like when I was
Oh,
so I was a I was like 12 years old, 13 years old looking at this Burj Al Arab being like,
mm.
destroying my memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think as soon as that was built and like the world's attention kind of like was turned to it, and it just made sense for Dubai to kind of grow in that direction because again, it's really a meeting place of different worlds. Um,
Mm.
you know, uh, it's sort of like the modern. It's like just like a modern market. I know, like it's like it feels really capitalistic sometimes the way it's portrayed, but there's also something really neat about going to Dubai and not just the fancy shopping mall because oh my gosh, the shopping malls there are next level. Like there's a shopping mall that has a snow like a ski slope.
What?
Yeah, there's one shopping mall that has a full ski slope. Like it's also really hot, so most people do hang out in shopping malls,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they're
Wow.
massive. It's just like that is it's the world's marketplace, right?
Yeah.
But then there's also really cool like the older parts, like which always get left behind when we talk about Dubai. The older parts of Dubai where there's like the gold souk, and it feels more like a when you see like a farmer's marketplace or whatever, you have that, and then you have the fish market, and it's like
Yeah.
fish every morning because again, that's the heritage. Um, yeah, and then all over the place you have like street vendors, like food. There's a lot of like smaller like Lebanese kind of like like divey hole in the wall shawarma spots, which is like and they're usually called like eat and drink or sit and eat. So that's the
Mm.
name of the restaurant because like that's what you do there, you eat and drink. And
Mhm.
those are the kinds of places me and my friends would go to for after a night's party. Like how people end up at McDonald's here. Like we would
Yeah.
always just end up at a eat and drink or grab a shawarma, have a
Yeah.
shisha, and then
Yeah.
tell stories until the sun comes up. Yeah,
Yes.
so it was like growing up there was really interesting, and it's so funny because it's so different from how Dubai is portrayed. And
Hmm.
yeah, but
Yeah. Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
So nice, and that was perfect segue into the food that you're going to introduce today. So tell us, what is it?
Okay, so today we're talking about shawarma. Chicken shawarma specifically. And so like I said, like chicken shawarma is super popular. It's even popular here, but honestly, like I have to say that the shawarma that I had growing up is not at all the same as the shawarma that we have here. So sometimes I have to like assemble. So in the shawarma, there's like chicken, garlic, potatoes, and pickles.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's usually in Dubai, it is usually smaller, so you'll eat like 2 or 3 to have a meal, as opposed to the massive ones that you have here. Like that looks amazing and generous. Like a one in Dubai I would have would be like a third of that size. And then the pickles would
Oh,
also come in like small little packets on the side as well.
wow. Well, we had to order this and just specify I want chicken shawarma, pickles, and fries, like regular fries, and garlic sauce. That's all in the wrap. And then this restaurant did it for us. So thank you, La Giza.
Aziza, thank you, Aziza.
Thank you so much. Everybody go there. This is not like what they do regularly, but like they made it for us and perfect. Like this is it. So thank you, Laziza on Bloor Street. Everybody go there. So yeah, very interesting. It's so simple compared to like other wraps, shawarma wraps I have ever had in Toronto. It's usually like a colorful, I don't know, pink turnip and then
Yeah.
like parsley and all that kind of stuff. This is so simple and fries.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the reason is behind that, but like I just know that when I'm getting a shawarma back home, there's always fries in it. You know, there's always a bit of potato in it. So I mean, I don't know. That's just sort of I never question it, and it's funny because I don't they don't really offer fries in it here, but I don't ask
No.
for it, so maybe I don't miss that part.
It's funny, but I have seen like shawarma places have like fries on the side, like you can order on the side kind of thing. But lots of other places have like some kind of potato, I don't know, like cooked potato thing on the side. But like fries in the wrap, I have never seen. But this is like a common way to have in Dubai.
Yeah, and then that's like a Dubai thing. So shawarma is like, uh, as you know, it's like all over the place. It's like probably one of the most popular fast food places, and I
Mm.
will say like I'm kind of relieved because to be kind of like sentimental and corny, it always makes me feel like I'm at home. Even though
Mm.
it tastes different, but it is one of those things. It's not like McDonald's, for example. I don't know why I keep bringing up McDonald's, but maybe I'm just bringing up McDonald's because I think shawarma is like also as ubiquitous as like a Big Mac, for example.
Mm.
But like for example, a Big Mac all over the world will taste the same, like that's their thing. But a shawarma between here and Dubai, and actually between like downtown Toronto and like Mississauga Scarborough also different. And then
What?
yeah,
That's so interesting.
and then
Wow.
Philippine shawarma is like completely different. Trust me. So I was inspired to bring up shawarma today because my brother he was born in Saudi Arabia, so his relationship to the Middle East is like quite different from mine as well. But I remember
Mm.
he was like, I am just trying to find the perfect shawarma here. And it's just one of those things that you change the makeup of it to the local culture because obviously that's how you're gonna sell it.
Mhm.
So I think
What's
like this,
available? Yeah.
yeah, but like shawarma is like it's like part of like it's Levantine cuisine, so it's like Lebanese and you know uh, Palestine, yeah, like that kind of area. And again, Dubai is a very multicultural place, so lots of Lebanese folks. I actually went to a Lebanese school, and like lots of Lebanese
Oh.
folks, lots of Egyptian folks. So and this exists like you know it's usually like chicken, veal, lamb. Here it's more like the modern one is more like chicken, beef, turkey, veal. But this was actually inspired, like it's so old. I think it's from the Ottoman Empire.
Oh man,
And
yeah,
so I think like it's related to the doner,
yeah.
and then
I I actually have a question. What's the definition of shawarma, and what's the difference between like doner and shawarma? Like, what's the definition of shawarma?
oh, that's a very good question. Not sure. I can tell the like what the difference specifically between a doner and a shawarma, but like a shawarma basically is like related to how it's cooked. So you know it's like on those steaks, and so
Yes.
it's basically thinly sliced pieces of meat that are spiced and then stacked on that rotisserie,
Hmm.
right? I think
Hmm.
shawarma, I'm not sure, but I think shawarma actually means like turning.
Oh,
So
okay,
it
yeah.
is very related to, it's like a rotisserie,
Hmm.
right?
So that thing that turns around, it's
Yeah.
like already like thin meat, like on top of each other,
Yes.
instead of like one huge chunk of meat, like
Yeah.
one big pork, instead of that like thin
Yeah. So it's thin
layers.
and it's like thin slices, and like spices, like very like marinated, and then sometimes they put like fat in it too to make it like extra juicy.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
And so I
Mhm.
think that is also one of the biggest reasons, like it'll taste different. But essentially, it's like a sandwich with like pita or wrapped bread with meat and then like vegetables, like in its simplest form, which is why I think there's so many variations of it.
Mhm.
The donor, I honestly think it's like it's kind of like a more of more like the spices. I think that's probably a bit different,
Yeah,
you know.
I see. Mhm.
Because I also know it's I think shawarma actually comes from like the Turkish like sevirme. I might be ruining that, but it's turning.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and gyros are
Oh,
also
yeah, there's
kind of,
another one.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
all, it's like kind of, that's why like a lot of places here, shawarma places say it's Mediterranean cuisine because it is like
Yeah.
influences from various parts of that region. And
Yes.
tacos el pastor, which is from Mexico, was
Yeah.
brought, well, that was brought by Lebanese immigrants, and that's also on that big shawarma style spit, except
What?
instead of like a pita, it's on a taco.
Wow.
I know, yeah, it's like it's cool, like that's, it's kind of cool that it's like it's all over the place, it's all over the world like that, and just how like
Yeah.
immigrants will bring culture, and then it gets infused in that culture, kind of like a little
Yeah.
Philippine diaspora. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I remember the
Yeah,
spam was brought by American Navy Army.
yeah,
You're talking about military.
yeah,
Yeah, just like that. And I know like dumplings. There are like so many different forms of dumplings all over the world. But like shawarma, like same thing. I didn't even think of it because probably there might be some kind of form in Japan as well. Then I never thought of it, but
oh yeah,
I don't know. But I'm not surprised now that they explain that way. There's some form of shawarma in Japan, something somewhere.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that really makes sense. That makes sense. So, as you said, shawarma is like after drinking, you're gonna stay up till like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Okay, we need to have some food after drinking. And then you said shisha. You do shisha with shawarma?
yeah. I mean, like, so it's again. Sorry, I don't know why I'm talking, but again, like, so, oh, actually, no. You know what? In Dubai, shawarma places, and I don't know if it's the same now,
Mhm.
but like, shawarma places used to only open like in the evenings.
Oh,
So
really?
so you had to wait for your shawarma. Like you couldn't really just have a shawarma for lunch like now. Like here,
Uh,
like you had to wait, like, okay, they're gonna open at 5. So it is like a
wow.
yeah. So I remember like my favorite shawarma place was near my dad's office. So it was always my favorite when he'd come home with like a big bag of shawarma for after school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, but that those are the places that we would go to for um drinking, even though we were in high school. Oops. So
Yeah, I was kind of kidding. Didn't you go to McGill? So that means it's before McGill time. Okay.
So yeah, but it's just like a good place to, because like they're open kind of late, and yeah, it's just, and then just have a shisha like by the beach. I don't know. Yeah, you know, like growing up in Dubai was pretty cool. It was pretty cool and fun.
Nice. And also like people drink there. Like
Dubai
I thought
known
like
for its nightlife. Like
okay.
again, because so it's one of those places, right? Like where again there's so many people from different parts of the world bringing their own cultures and their own like ways of living there. But it's a Muslim country, so you can't just order alcohol from anywhere. Like most restaurants do not have alcohol.
Okay.
But they make an exception if you're like in a hotel, for example. So most bars and clubs are attached to hotels.
That makes sense. Like more foreigners come, it's easier access. More foreigners meaning like maybe non-Muslim people are in that area. Like yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So party, like what kind of parties is a party? Like I just like picture Dubai, like everyone's like, okay, let's go, like that kind of party.
It's a little bit like that. I won't lie. Like, it is a bit like that. So Dubai kind of really blew up into the party like scene, I guess. Like basically late high school, it suddenly became this like amazing nightclub. So if you think about all of the coolest nightclubs you've been here, Dubai's like that, except add a little bit more gold flakes here and there.
Like real gold, not the
Like
pretending gold. It's a real gold.
Yeah, because it's about it's the experience, right? Like people come to Dubai to just have a little bit of a Vegas kind of getaway.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
So some of the coolest like nightclubs are in Dubai. And but it's funny because again, like there's also an amazing food scene and culture scene there. So one of my favorite things about Dubai is like, so my school, there's like 60 different nationalities. So I had friends who came from all over the
60?
world. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's more than Scarborough.
I know, like people when we talk about diversity here, I'm always like, lol. What do you mean?
Wow.
So I got to go celebrate like, you know, all of my friends' cultures as they live and not as part. You know, like there is a big tradition as well of doing things called like the Global Village, or so Dubai Shopping Festival. That's what it is. Like it's a festival where you're, you know, like everything's on sale, and this is like the global marketplace. One of the coolest things that they have is called the Global Village, and it's this massive. It's like the X. And each country has its own pavilion.
Yes.
And so you just go and get to explore the whole world. You know?
Didn't they also actually have like expo recently this year?
Yeah, it's actually happening now, or it just happened
right now.
Yeah. Which is funny because I'm like, how's that different from Global Village? Because Global Village is huge. It happens every year, and it's my favorite thing.
It's just different name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about like more of the culture that we don't know, like these all the parties and like gold and diamonds and like all those things. That's what I see on the pictures. But as you mentioned, like there's like local fish market, all that kind of stuff. So what's like a typical like high school student, like what like their day is like? Where do you hang out? I'm sure like you go to the nightclubs, but also like, you know, hanging out at someone's home or like, you know, regular life. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I don't know what kids are doing these days. It's been a while for me. But when I was growing up, Dubai, like, hanging out again, a lot of us were mall rats, and that was the thing to do. Don't get me wrong.
More,
Um,
more,
Mall
more.
rats, so we all hang out at the mall because the
A
malls are
more. Okay.
huge and amazing. But
Mm.
there's also, again, like, we would hang out at the beach all the
Mm.
time. So we
Nice.
would go play sports at the beach, soccer, where or there we call it football.
Soccer.
Yeah, football is huge
Football.
there. Just doing barbecues, like even Filipino families, like they'll go to the beach and do barbecues. I remember growing up, we did a lot of that.
Oh, that's so nice.
Dubai has a lot of parks. Actually, it's like a big desert, but um, they reclaim a lot of, like, they desalinate the water from the ocean, and so then they are able to keep these. They're not at all like Canadian parks, don't get me wrong, but they're still
Mm.
pretty big parks, and again, it was always fun to just hang out with your friends there. And then we had
Mm.
like there's a part of Dubai that really reminds me of like what it might have been like growing up in Mississauga also, because you have to drive everywhere, but also like we had like smaller events like Battle of the Bands, which is like these, just like local bands kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
that was one of the bigger things. As a high school kid, I think that you couldn't really access like the bigger things yet because of, there's alcohol there or whatever.
Mm.
But then, you would dress up, you go to the mall, pick your outfit, pick your outfit with your friends, and then you'd go to Battle of the Bands and be like, oh, hope your crush is there.
Cute.
There's also like water park. So Wild Wadi is a huge water park there. Everything in Dubai though they make is huge. It's always like
Mm.
extravagant. But there's also, for the most part, honestly, it's just us hanging out at each other's houses.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah.
What kind of houses? Like everyone live in a big house, or like are there apartments
There are
or condos?
apartments, so it really depends on the area. So
Mm.
by the beach, it's like really like Jumeirah. It's called Jumeirah area, and there's a term for like, how you have Stepford housewife, I guess Stepford wife. I don't know. But there's a term, it's like Jumeirah Jane. So that's where like, so if there was like a Real Housewives of Dubai, it would probably be those people because they
I
all
see.
had nice beachfront property, and like
Yeah.
they had, and that area's very like, you know restaurants on the strip. It's just beautiful, but it's
Mm.
all accessible. And then you have like the older areas like Bur Dubai, Karama Dubai, which is like more densely populated, lots of
Mhm.
like buildings and apartments. And again, you know so there's like there's actually a huge like South Asian population in
Oh,
Dubai. It's
really?
probably like maybe outside of like the Arabian population is the second biggest or maybe the biggest.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of Indian food. So biryani, which is,
Wow.
I don't know if you've
Yes.
ever, is
Yeah.
also big there. So we ate that a lot. And some of
Oh.
my best friends growing up were Indian. So some of the awesomest activities that I went to were like Indian festivals, like Diwali, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not
Wow.
uncommon for folks to just wear their culture's clothes, like on a, so you'd have aunties in saris like walking
Yeah.
around as opposed to
Wow.
like, I think here it's more of like it's like a special occasion thing.
Mhm.
But because also like, local men, we called like the Emiratis like locals, because they're
Mhm.
so they'd be wearing their oh my gosh, I'm like blanking, but they're, like, so the all white garb, and women in abayas and stuff. So it was really like that for me, like that for me felt more of like a melting pot than
Mhm.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely. Like you're like really celebrating your background and like this is who I am. But like I respect your culture. I respect where you're from, and we
yeah,
all like live together in harmony.
yeah, yeah.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Wow. That's news to me. That's like
Oh,
the part of Dubai I had no idea, but like that sounds amazing. Like everyone's just accepting who you are.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Like there's a lot of stuff when you have, again, a mishmash of different cultures and different belief systems, like, and that
Mm-hmm.
and that will happen. But I will just say, like, and it's different for me having the lens of someone who's in her 30s and lived here, and the kinds of conversations that are happening right now as opposed to there. But I will say, like, from a big shift is like, between there and here is like, for here, even though immigrants have been here for a while, it still feels like celebrating different cultures still feels like a new thing. Whereas in Dubai, it's like immigrants have been, or people don't really immigrate to Dubai. You just live there on contracts and stuff. So you're expatriates. Um, but like seeing people's culture every day, it is normal. Like it doesn't feel like
Yeah. Yeah.
and it didn't feel like a big effort like it does here sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I always think it's like really interesting. But each is very different, and yeah, yeah.
Wow, I like that. Yeah, I have to go there. Yeah, it's so interesting. It I really feel Toronto. You put it perfectly. Toronto's like, yeah, different cultures, but I have to put an effort to go see something or like to learn someone's different culture.
Yeah.
But as you said, Dubai, it's everyday life, different culture. Oh, I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, you're making me really miss Dubai. Actually, like, it's, for me, it's very strongly my childhood home, and I don't. It's funny because here in Canada, I'm like, I'm Filipino. They're like, great. Tell me what it was like growing up in the Philippines, and then it's like, actually, I grew up in Dubai. Da da da. So it's not a thing that's like pretty obvious, but it's funny that and the thing is, because I don't talk about it that much, it starts to fade. So I'm really grateful that you asked me about it, because I'm like, oh man, all of these great memories. And my mom next year is actually planning to move away from Dubai, so the Rasuls are actually no longer gonna be in Dubai.
Oh, gotta go.
I know, it's just giving me some feelings because a lot of my childhood friends, we all came to North America for our various, or some people stayed North America, Europe, Australia to study university, and everyone worked there for a little bit, but slowly everyone's kind of moved back to Dubai to be closer to their parents. So yeah, so it's really cool because like this big generation of folks who actually grew up in Dubai as opposed to just moved there for work are now going back and influencing the culture.
Yeah. Wow.
So even when I go visit, it's like a very different place now, and it's also really cool and exciting. I feel like Dubai changes a lot. So
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I think in the world there should be some places kept and like, okay, this is our tradition, this is our culture, this is how we live for hundreds and thousands of years. That's beautiful. But there should be places that's always changing, because this is how the world is. Like, and it sounds like Dubai is the representation of that. Always changing, always developing, always something happening, always accepting more people to come and live. That sounds like it. I'm learning so much about Dubai, and as we were talking, I made sushi. Sushi. Alia, do you want to name this sushi?
Shawarma sushi.
Shawarma sushi.
Sushi.
Shawarma sushi. Yes. If people don't get the references, I have heard them pronouncing S and SH. So in the toast joke, I was saying like, I'm a pushy salesman, and like pushy. I'm having a hard time, but it's sushi. It's sushi. Shawarma sushi. I love
pushy sushi.
Shawarma pushy sushi. Great. I'm a little bit proud. Like I'm a proud sushi chef today, because I put everything in every single roll. There's like chicken shawarma, there's wrap, there's like pickle, there's fried. I'm sure the sauce is everywhere. So like, yeah, isn't that pretty? It looks good.
I'm interested in the taste with soy sauce.
Yeah, that's the Japanese part that I need to contribute to the Dubai culture. Soy sauce. Not only Japanese, but yeah, I must have soy sauce. Okay, so Alia, I'm gonna try and I know it's gonna be good. I can tell already it's gonna be good. But I'm gonna try and make sure it's good. So as I eat, I don't want anyone to hear me chew. So do you wanna sing something?
Oh, sing something.
Yeah, any like song that from your childhood or like anything from Dubai, anything from the Philippines is fine too.
Oh, okay, well, I only know one phrase of like, so I grew up in Dubai, and people also, the next thing that people ask me is like, do you speak Arabic? And I
Hmm.
don't. It's a
You
very,
didn't need
very,
to,
I didn't
right?
need to. It's very
Growing up.
English, but I do. It is one of my regrets. But
Mm.
there is a song that a friend of mine taught me, and it's the only Arabic really I know. So I
That's
don't know how much.
amazing.
I don't know how much. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if it's
That's
long enough for you
amazing.
to eat a sushi. It's so
Yes.
short.
If not, just on repeat. Just
Okay,
you
here we
know.
go. So
Okay.
it's
Itadakimasu.
okay. So I'll I'll just do some clapping. So it goes. أنا بحب اللحم كتير whether it's there or here. And then I realized I just forgot the rest. But what it means is أنا بحب اللحم كتير. أنا بحب means I love. لحمة is beef. Me. Katir means a lot. So you could also say أنا بحب yeah. So you can
And
say
that's
أنا
a song.
بحب. It's where is this from? أنا بحب. It's like one of those. It's one of those like joke songs, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Can you change that to chicken?
chicken.
Hmm.
Oh, what's chicken in Arabic? I don't know. Could look it up. But I could also say أنا بحب sushi katir.
Hmm. Perfect. Hmm. This is so freaking good. I try not to
Yeah.
swear how good it is.
Oh,
This is so
chicken is
good.
dejaj.
Mm,
Dejaj. Chicken is
mm.
dejaj. There you
So
go.
sing it. Sing it.
So it's أنا بحب دجاج كتير.
Woo!
We did it.
We did it. This is so good.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't wait to finish this whole thing. Like I can finish this in like 15 seconds. This is so good. 3 seconds a piece. Um, yeah, it's garlicky. The sauce, I think, it has a kick to it. It's great. But pickles is like, oh, perfect with sushi rice, a little vinegary. And the chicken is so freaking good. What are the spices to make this
I
shawarma?
think it can change, but it's like cumin. What else?
Cumin.
Like there's more. There's a whole. It's kind of like that whole KFC 12 spices situation. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
like
I
that
bet
sort
like
of.
there are some spices that I don't even know. Like I'm not familiar with probably.
It's like cardamom, like cumin. What else is there? It's yeah. I think that's again like I think that's sort of what makes it different for sure. It's like what else? Like
Mhm.
paprika, turmeric,
Oh,
cinnamon. Yeah, yeah,
so good. All
yeah. And
those like spices that I'm not so familiar with in Japanese cuisine, but like everything sounds like so foreign to me, but all together it sounds like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, okay, I can taste something. Cinnamon, I don't taste it, but like it makes sense and some kick to it, like
yeah.
something.
And then I think
Hmm.
the biggest part is the fact that it's like marinating and cooking in that rotisserie pit for a while, right?
Mm.
So that's why it's so flavorful and just
So flavorful, such like strong flavor, but like it doesn't bother me. It's so present. It's so nice. I can't wait to eat this. So let's finish this show right now. Um, but yeah, yes, thank you so much. It was so informative, educational. I learned so much about Dubai, not just the polar part, but like people's lives there. That just like us, like people live there, and not just always spending millions of dollars,
yep.
but people live there and then have a nice melting pot, the salad bowl, the reference I like you're talking about. That's news to me, and that's so good to know. So thank you so much for being here, Alia.
Yeah, and thank you for letting me relive my childhood a little bit.
Yay! Yeah, so today we got this shawarma, chicken shawarma, Dubai style from La Giza on Bloor. So everybody support local business, support local restaurant, and support Bad Dog Comedy TV. Here's donation link again. Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video. Subliminal message. Great. Yeah, so, yeah, and thank you, Sean. Thank you for the map. I was lost, so thank you for the map and all the pictures. Yeah, Sean's a great tech director. And yeah, again, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you, Alia. So, how do you say bye or like thank you or something if you're in Dubai? What do
Oh
you
my
say there?
gosh.
Is there anything? Is this just like regular English? Okay, bye.
It's like okay, bye, and there is definitely like the Arabic word for it, but it's gonna come. It's shukran.
Shukran. Okay,
Yeah.
so everybody, shukran.